If I could go back 5 years and shake my younger self by the shoulders, here's what I'd tell him. Stop chasing girls who are giving you nothing back. Stop wasting months of your life analyzing every text, every smile, every tiny interaction. Stop hoping it means something when deep down, you already know the truth. You see, I spent way too much time in my early 20s convinced that persistence was attractive, that if I just tried hard enough, if I was just nice enough, patient enough, understanding enough, eventually she'd see my value. But here's the brutal reality nobody wants to tell you. When a woman isn't interested, she doesn't hide it. She shows you in ways that are crystal clear if you're brave enough to see them. So here's what I'm going to do. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of the 3 major signs that she's not interested in you. And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff like her blocking your number. I'm talking about the subtle patterns that most guys completely miss. The ones that keep you stuck in limbo for weeks or even months. This isn't just theory, bro. This is knowledge that will literally save you years of frustration and help you redirect your energy toward women who actually want to be with you. So listen carefully, because by the end of this, you'll never waste time on the wrong girl again. The first sign: she gives you scheduled attention. Here's something most guys don't understand about female psychology. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her attention feels spontaneous, unpredictable, and a little chaotic. But when she's not interested, her attention becomes scheduled, predictable, and controlled. Let me break this down for you. Imagine you're texting with a girl, and she always responds at exactly the same time every day. Maybe she texts back at 7 p.m. every evening, or only responds during her lunch break, or only replies on weekends. On the surface, this might seem good. You might think, at least she's consistent, at least she's responding. But here's what's really happening. You've become a time filler. You're the guy she texts when she's bored, when she's eating lunch alone, when she has nothing better to do. You're not priority, you're convenience. And before we go any further, if this information is already changing how you see your dating life, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because I share psychological insights like this every week that most dating coaches won't tell you. The kind of knowledge that separates guys who get results from guys who stay confused. So hit subscribe now, and let's keep going. Think about it this way. When you're excited about something, when you're genuinely interested, do you schedule your excitement? If your favorite team just scored a game-winning goal, do you wait until 7 p.m. to celebrate? If you get great news about a job promotion, do you wait until your lunch break to feel happy about it? Of course not. Genuine interest creates genuine spontaneity. When a woman is into you, really into you, her responses come at random times. She texts you at midnight because she thought of something funny. She calls you during her busy day, just because she heard a song that reminded her of your conversation. She responds immediately sometimes, and other times she takes hours, but it feels natural, not mechanical. But scheduled attention? That's emotional time management. She's giving you just enough to keep you around, but not enough to indicate real interest. She's treating your conversation like a chore on her to-do list. Something to check off between more important activities. Learned this the hard way with a girl named Sarah. For 3 months, she would text me back every day around 8 p.m., every single day. I thought it was a good sign because, hey, at least she was consistent. But then I realized something devastating was her Netflix break. While she was binge-watching shows, she'd quickly respond to my messages during commercial breaks or between episodes. The moment I understood this pattern, everything clicked. I wasn't her romantic interest. I was her background entertainment. And you know what happened when I stopped texting first? Those 8 p.m. messages stopped completely. Because when you're just scheduled attention, removing yourself from her routine doesn't create a void. It creates relief. The second sign: she agrees with everything but remembers nothing. This one is tricky because it feels positive. She's agreeable. She's sweet. She never argues with you. She always says the right things. But here's what most guys miss. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, she's emotionally invested in your conversations. And emotional investment shows up in 2 ways. She challenges you, and she remembers things. Let me explain the challenge part first. When a woman likes you, she wants to know who you really are underneath the surface. So she tests your opinions. She playfully disagrees with you. She pushes back on your ideas not because she wants to fight, but because she wants to see how you think, how you handle pressure, how confident you are in your beliefs. But when she's not interested, she has zero motivation to understand you on a deeper level. So she just agrees with whatever you say to keep things smooth and conflict-free. You tell her your favorite movie is Transformers. She says, "That's cool." You tell her you love hiking. She says that sounds fun. You share your opinion about politics. She says she never really thought about it that way. It feels nice in the moment. But it's actually the kiss of death. Because genuine connection requires some friction, some back and forth, some emotional investment. When everything is too smooth, it means she's not emotionally engaged enough to care about understanding your perspective. And here's the memory part, which is even more telling. When someone is genuinely interested in you, they naturally remember details about your life, because those details matter to them. She remembers that you have a big presentation on Thursday. She remembers that your brother is getting married next month. She remembers that you hate your job, but you're saving money to start your own business. But when she's not interested, your life becomes background noise. You tell her about your stressful day at work, and 3 days later she asks how your job is going as if she's hearing about it for the first time. You mention your best friend's name 5 times in different conversations, and she still can't remember who you're talking about. Once dated a girl who would always say she was listening, always gave appropriate responses, but couldn't remember anything I told her. I thought maybe she just had a bad memory, until I noticed she could remember every detail about her favorite TV shows, every piece of gossip about her friends, every deadline for her work projects. Her memory was fine, my life just wasn't important enough to occupy space in it. The brutal truth is this: people remember what matters to them. If she's forgetting everything you tell her while agreeing with everything you say, it means you're emotionally invisible to her. You're like background music in a restaurant, present, but not really being heard. The third sign: she makes you feel like you're asking for too much. This is the most insidious sign, and it's the one that kept me stuck in toxic patterns for years. Here's how it works. Whenever you want something reasonable from her, she makes you feel like you're being needy, clingy, or demanding. You ask if she wants to grab dinner this weekend, and suddenly you're being too pushy. You want to have a phone conversation instead of just texting, and you're being too intense. You ask where this relationship is going after 2 months of dating, and you're being too serious. But here's what's really happening. She's using your own insecurities against you to avoid giving you what you want. Because when a woman is genuinely interested, your reasonable requests don't feel like pressure to her. They feel like opportunities to connect. Think about it. If someone you really liked wanted to spend more time with you, would that annoy you? If someone you were excited about wanted to have deeper conversations, would that feel like too much? Of course not. You'd be thrilled. But when she's not that into you, every request for more connection feels like a burden. So instead of being honest and saying she's not interested, she flips the script and makes you feel like you're the problem. She uses phrases like, "I just need space right now," or "I don't like feeling pressured," or "Can't we just see where things go naturally?" The most dangerous part is that these responses sound reasonable on the surface, so you end up apologizing for wanting basic things, like consistency, communication, and clarity. You start questioning whether you're being too needy, whether you should lower your expectations, whether you should just be grateful for whatever scraps of attention she gives you. Listen, if you're getting real value from this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Because most guys will watch this entire thing, nod their heads, and then go right back to making the same mistakes. But subscribers are the guys who actually apply this knowledge, who transform their dating lives, who stop settling for breadcrumbs. So subscribe now if you're serious about leveling up. I fell into this trap with a girl who made me feel guilty for wanting to talk on the phone more than once a week. She convinced me that I was being clingy, that I was moving too fast, that I needed to chill out. So I backed off, gave her space, lowered my expectations, and you know what happened? She started dating someone else 2 weeks later. That's when I realized the truth. She wasn't overwhelmed by my interest, she just wasn't interested in me. And instead of being direct about it, she made me feel like wanting more was a character flaw. Here's the reality check you need. When a woman wants to be with you, she doesn't make you feel like you're asking for too much. She makes you feel like she can't get enough. When she's into you, phone calls are exciting, not exhausting. Plans are something to look forward to, not pressure to avoid. Defining the relationship is a conversation she wants to have, not a topic she dodges. If you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells, trying not to be too much, apologizing for having normal relationship expectations, you're not with the wrong person at the wrong time. You're with the wrong person, period. The bottom line. Look, I get it. I've been where you are. I've convinced myself that maybe she just needs more time. Maybe she's been hurt before. Maybe she's just scared of getting close. I've made excuses for behavior that deep down I knew was unacceptable. But here's what I learned the hard way. When someone wants to be with you, you know it. You don't have to decode their behavior, analyze their texts, or wonder where you stand. When genuine interest exists, it shows up consistently in actions, not just words. Stop settling for scheduled attention from someone who treats your conversation like homework. Stop accepting agreeable responses from someone who can't remember anything about your life. Stop feeling guilty for wanting basic relationship standards from someone who makes you feel like you're asking for the moon. You deserve someone who is excited to hear from you at random times. You deserve someone who remembers what you tell them because it matters to them. You deserve someone who makes you feel like being with you is a privilege, not a burden. The woman who's right for you won't make you wonder if she's interested. She'll make it obvious through her enthusiasm, her investment, and her effort to build something real with you. So stop wasting your energy on women who give you nothing back. Stop analyzing breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole meal. Your time, your attention, your emotional investment. These are valuable things. Give them to someone who appreciates their worth. I believe in you, brother. You've got this.